Afternoon everyone, hope you're well and finding things to fill your day with as we all sit in our own homes. I'm Andrea and I'm going to be sharing a thought for today. As I listened to Gary's sermon on Sunday based on Matthew 6, a particular line he said struck a chord with me, and that was, God sees you. I found that uplifting and reassuring, especially at a time like now. God has many titles and names used in the Bible. They are names that can be used for praise, but also declare things about his character. The Hebrew name, El Roi, is one of them, and we hear it first in a story at the beginning of the Bible in the book of Genesis, chapter 16. Hagar, Sarah and Abraham's servant, is the first person to say, "You are the God who sees me." When I first became a Christian, I was quite shocked at the stories in the Old Testament. From school, I was familiar with the classic stories like David and Goliath and Noah's Ark. But as I wasn't brought up reading the Bible, I didn't become more familiar with those stories until later in life. And as I've read them, I was struck by the raw, honest stories that the Bible tells of humans and just the depths we can go to and the mistakes we can make. Hagar's story is amongst one of these. I'm just going to give you the story in a nutshell. Hagar is Sarah and Abraham's maidservant. Sarah and Abraham, at this point in the story, in chapter 16, are still known as Sarah and Abraham. Abraham has been called by God. God has told him, I'm going to take you out to make a nation from you. You are going to be the father of a nation of hundreds, thousands of people, and I'm going to tell my story through you. At this point, Sarah and Abraham are getting on. They haven't had any children. And as we usually do as human beings, they began to doubt this. They began to think maybe God wants us to help him. And they start to have their own plan. Sarah suggests to Abraham that maybe her family will come through Hagar. So Hagar and Abraham conceive a child. And from that moment, as you can imagine, the tension and dynamics in the family change. Sarah is angry with Hagar, jealous. Hagar lords it over Sarah a bit and is angry with Sarah. Abraham steps away and leaves it to the women. Sarah begins to treat Hagar more harshly and in the end turns her out of the house into the desert. And it's here that God steps in. God sees Hagar, he provides for her needs and he guides her back. And Hagar says, "You are the God who sees me." I find that so moving that God saw her and stepped into a bad, ugly situation. He does that all the time. He sees you, he sees me. Right now, you may be sitting on your own, or you may be sitting with your family, or you may be having in a constant stream of Zoom meetings. Maybe you're one of those people who are lonely in a crowd, or maybe you're just lonely. But know this, God sees you exactly where you are and will and can meet your needs. All you have to do is talk to him. I hope that uplifts you as it's uplifted me. May God bless you.